Hey guys, Bic Mitchum here, and we're back again. We have PaulJohn here. Hey PaulJohn, how's it going?
Hi, man. Doing well. How about you, man?
I'm very well. So today you're going to talk to us a little bit about some strategies that you use to get some kill streaks in Star Wars Battlefront 2, and also some. Oh my god. We're going to talk a little bit about the infantry classes, and we're also going to talk a little bit about heroes. So, starting with infantry, Paul, what are some key strategies to get kill streaks with infantry?
Well, I could say for myself, for my gameplay, um, you need to roll a lot. If you don't, I know the roll in the game isn't that good, but if it does help you out in like bad situations, like in a 1v1. Um, Even though I do play like aggressive, but also defensive. So like in between. I don't go fully in like into a massive enemy swarm. Just stay at the back and try and defeat them from like far distance.
So
So it's
not.
like
Oh, sorry.
no,
So
keep on.
so not camping, but kind of always keeping
Yeah,
maybe your back covered and kind of pressing forward.
yeah, and try and look everywhere. If you see enemies, if like somebody um is behind you, always have your eyes open. So that's actually the main thing for me. I mean, everybody has a different play style, I should say. But for me, it's like these tips. If I should call them tips, but that's what I do.
How important would you say headshots are?
A lot. They do like good damage. It's like sometimes you can just like one shot the enemy, and that's good.
So what sensitivity would you recommend someone to be playing on?
Well, I should say for those that don't play with a high sensitivity, I should say start with 30 because I play with 100% sensitivity. It's if you start from 20 and just go to 100 right away, it's going to be too fast. Too fast. So I would like start where you are and then always set the sensitivity up always 10% more, and then eventually you can try out the 100%. And yeah, for me it's way better than like 20%. It's 20% is a bit too slow for me.
So why would you say a higher sensitivity is better?
I mean, for me it's better because I can look around myself like in a 360 degrees way faster than like in 20%. Takes from For me it takes a bit to go like 360 degrees when I'm using 20%, but with 100% I'm like I can just go turn around really fast. So that's yeah.
All right, so what do you think the best class is for if you were going to recommend for someone that's looking to get like a 20 plus kill streak with infantry? What do you think is the best class to do that?
I should say the officer class, especially because of the bounty hunter card. If you know, you get more battle points with the bounty hunter card. It's like if you have it on epic, it's like really good. And the weapon I could recommend is the blurg with the faster shooting. That does really big damage, even though to heavies. So that's what I could say.
All right, so if officer would you say is the best, what would you say is the worst class?
Well, in my opinion, it would be the heavy.
And why would
I
you say that? Because I see a lot of people using the heavy class.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't like the heavy. It's like I don't know. I just don't can't play with it. I just can't play with the heavy class. Um, just like I don't know. It's hard to tell why not, but I just like I don't feel like yeah, okay, I'm gonna play heavy and I'm gonna do something good with it. Sometimes, okay, with your explosive sentry or stuff like that, in you can get lots of kills. I'm not gonna say that, but from my opinion, I don't like the heavy. It's like for me, a no-go.
All right, so is it kind of like in, say, Battlefront 1, when you get killed by someone with an EE4, it just kind of grinds your gears? Just like somebody's just using the heavy class, it just kind of pisses you off?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it's like, it's hard to shoot through the shield. You need to try and shoot down the shield really fast, and to get them down.
So what? So you just brought up the shields with the heavy class. What kind of recommendations do you have, say, in like a close quarters match where you're up against somebody with a shield? Like, what kind of strategies would you use? Do you shoot for the feet? Do you try to just run, get a better angle? Like, what kind of things do you recommend?
What I do with when I'm in a 1v1 situation with a heavy, I try and roll as much as I can, and to jump, because if you jump a lot, sometimes the enemy doesn't have that good aim, and he can actually just miss the shots, and you can just shoot through the shield and then kill him. So that's what I could say or recommend you guys.
So since the beta came out, do you feel like the classes are even? Do you think or do you think that there are classes that are better?
Well, I mean, in the beta, the EE4 had, like, you could just use the EE4 unlimited. When the beta came out, the assault class was the best class back then. But since they nerfed the EE4, you can't trigger the EE4 that fast. So, yeah, I wouldn't say. I mean, everybody has like a different class they like to play with or are better with them. But I do, for me personal, I would recommend the officer.
So what do you recommend for people that use the specialist class as a hand setup?
I would say try from a far distance and shoot them, and try to get the headshots, because with the specialist you can do pretty good damage in the far distance, even though in the like close range.
All right, so let's switch over to from infantry, and we'll chat about heroes for a second. So one thing I've noticed is you love Palpatine. So why do you love Palpatine so much? What makes him so great? Because a lot of people don't like him. I know he just got buffed this week, but what is so great about Palpatine?
Well, I think they thought that Palpatine is the worst hero at the beginning, because I don't think they knew how to play with him correctly. If you play with Palpatine a bit longer, you know what to do and where to go and how to use his abilities. I've got Palpatine fully upgraded now. I've got like 4 or 5 cards on Epic that makes him even more better. But since after the beta, I personally think that Palpatine didn't need a buff, but now he got buffed, he's gonna be really good. He's way better now.
All right, does he play well in hero versus villains, or is it more infantry that you would say Palpatine would be good with?
Yeah, I mean, in hero versus villains, he's not that good compared to the other enemies. But like I said, if you know how to play with him correctly and you know when to dodge the enemy's attacks, then he can like easily defeat the enemy hero.
All right, so what are some strategies to help your team win in hero versus villains? What are some things that you would recommend?
Well, I most likely go after killstreaks. That's what's actually my channel is actually based on. But I would say try and just always go after the target if that he's dead before the others. So yeah, that's what I could say.
And what are some other thoughts about heroes, like ones to use and ones that you should try to avoid, or some situations that you would try to avoid using certain heroes?
Well, I mean, every hero and villain are good in their specific way. Um, I've what I've thought is like Boba Fett. I don't like playing him as much, like um, Palpatine or Ray and such kind. But I would say um, that they are all good. It's like it depends who you can play with better. It's like for me, I can play with Palpatine way better than like Boba Fett or Maul because I've played with him a lot and I know what to do when I should do that and this. So it's actually quite a tricky question.
So what, when you compare the two games, which hero versus villains do you enjoy more? And how could Battlefront 2, could they take anything back from Battlefront 1 to put into Battlefront 2 hero versus villains?
I mean, in the Battlefront 1 game, it's like they had in it, so it was like more easier to get like a higher kill streak in hero versus villains. Like for saying, I had like 100 kill feed with in hero versus villains in Battlefront 1, but now in Battlefront 2, you've had just like 4 versus 4, just heroes versus villains, and that's, in my opinion, that's what it should be: heroes versus villains. Just no infantry, just heroes versus villains.
Do you think we'll see Hero Hunt in Battlefront 2?
I don't think so, to be honest. They said they would put it in the Battlefront 1 game, but I'm not. I don't know. I'm a bit curious about getting it in the Battlefront 2.
If there were any game modes you could take from Battlefront 1 to put into Battlefront 2 today, which would be the one you'd want to see the most?
Well, I would definitely say don't bring back Hero Hunt. That was like the worst thing, the worst game mode. But I mean, they couldn't be a game where I would say like game mode they could bring back, because we've got Galactic Assault now. Strike was like kind of like cargo, in a bit different, but it's most likely like the same thing. But no, I wouldn't say they should bring back a game mode.
So not even something like, say, Drop Zone?
Nah.
No.
Well, to be honest, I never played that. I didn't like it.
But like, we got the game Blast, which is kind of, for people that play the game, I think people are only playing Galactic Assault and Hero versus Villains. There's not really, like, Strike's not very popular, and Blast, I don't hear a lot of good things about Blast. So if they're kind of, do you feel like we're lacking a little bit of, what's the word? Just like all the game modes are too similar.
Yeah, it's
because I personally don't play a lot of Starfighter Assault, so it's pretty much a flip flop between Galactic Assault and Hero versus Villains. So to me, I feel like we could use something like Extraction, or something like what else is on? Just even some, I don't know, even some Drop Zone, I think, would be better.
Yeah, I mean they could bring a bit more content. Well, I mean more game modes, maybe new ones. But I don't know. It's like.
Did you play Battlefront 2005? Did you play that game?
Yeah.
Would you say
2005? No, 15. 15.
Okay, Paul, have you heard of the game mode Galactic Conquest?
I heard of it, yeah, but I don't know what type of game mode it really is.
Okay, I don't know a lot about it either, so we'll just leave this out. So, Paul, recently you've been doing a little bit of work with Silky Whisperer. Would you care to tell us a little bit about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Well, it all started with he did a video about he would like to give something back to the community and help. He would like pick 5 channels out, um, to like be a mentor to help, like, for saying my channel to grow better. And and then it turned out he messaged me one day and asked me if I would like to do an Epic Moments video for him, so he can have a look at my editing. So I created the first video. He liked it, and and then now, after a couple of Epic Moments, he said he would like to work with me, and from now on, I'm like a part of the Silky squad. So that
Nice.
means, that means he does the funny moments, and I'm the creator for the epic moments.
Nice.
So he doesn't do the epic moments anymore. I'm the one that just edits the videos now.
So he gives you access to the epic moments that are submitted, and you make them into montages for him.
Correctly. Yeah.
And how much does he involve himself in that process? Like, sometimes do you have to change a few things, or does he pretty much give you free reign to do whatever you want?
At the start, it was like, he said, I should try and edit the video like in his style. So I had to go through all of the epic moments, what he already created, how to edit, what did he do, are there any Ken burns in there, slow motions, fast forwards, and even those sound effects. Does he put them in there as well? And and then on the recent last, I think 2 or 3 epic moments, what I did, and that's I see in the comments, they think it's Silky that is creating the videos. So I think I'm hitting the right spot.
Well, that's good.
That,
You're keeping the continuity going. You're making things just seem as if you never stopped doing them.
Yeah.
So do you think that benefits your channel?
Yeah. I mean, he gave me, access. He told me if I have any questions or I would need help with something, he more than welcome to him. He would like help me right away. So he's with that kind of stuff, he's really generous. He helped me even though to get to 1K. So
Nice.
I'm really thankful about that.
Nice. But I don't have anything else really in terms of infantry heroes. But congratulations for recently getting to the 1,000 mark. That's been a long time coming. You must be happy to get there.
Yeah, I was really happy. It's been a long journey.
So what kind of things do you think you'll do this year to maybe get towards 2K sometime in 2018?
I mean, I would like, create more epic moments. Try and do more live streams, even though it's kind of hard because I will work almost the whole day. But I'm gonna try and stream more, do more videos, and
Anyways, thanks for joining us, Paul, for a podcast. It was a lot of fun, and we learned a lot of things. So we'll have a listen to this, and we'll probably get something made up in the next couple weeks.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, man.